Hi, this is Dave Johnson, and I would like to share an idea that has changed my whole life, and it's the work that we do. If you've been in the marketplace at all, you quickly realize that not all jobs are created equal. There's so many wonderful things that you can do, so many choices. What would be the best job? And how would you even measure that? And my thoughts are, of course, when you look at work and business, the purpose of that is to make a profit. But what if it was more than that? What if you could make a profit by doing good? And not only more profit, but by doing more good. And at the same time, having a lot of fun doing it, waking up in the morning every day, being excited about going to work, and being able to share this with others. The greatest joy is giving other people joy. And so right in the center of this page right here, we see three P's: people, planet, and profit. What if you could raise just the potential of all that, a better world to live in, helping other people, and earning a profit by doing that? Well, what does it take to build a Nikken business? If you've looked at different books, perhaps the most talked about book, Think and Grow Rich, definitely all the people that are rich attribute this book to their success more than any other book. And this is the central point of it. Napoleon Hill said that the starting point of all achievement is desire. If you have a great enough desire, things will happen. Rudyard Kipling said that if you really want something and you don't get it, it either means that you really didn't want it or you tried to bargain over the price. And so just think about whatever you want it bad enough, and have more reasons to do than fears or excuses not to. The next thing is, realistically, if you have a dream, if you have control over the different circumstances and situations, your dream is based on reality rather than just an empty dream. And I've listened to a lot of people who are super successful. You can look up billionaires and they talk about how they made it. And consistently, the idea is coming up with a different way to do things, often with things that already exist. And so here's some examples right here. Uber, who would have imagined as such a superior way to travel versus a taxi? If you've ever tried both, oh, you'll never go back to a taxi. Uber is awesome. Netflix, some years ago, everyone went to Blockbuster. It seemed like that was on every block. It was $1 billion company. Netflix came along, showed a better way, a more convenient, less expensive, and it changed the way we rent movies. Nikken. Now, one of the biggest problems out there is healthcare. It's something that is a train wreck ready to happen. It's unsustainable. Healthcare is 1/6 of the entire economy of the United States. It's consuming $3.5 trillion. And pretty much when you think of healthcare, we think of drugs and surgery, which is a wonderful thing. If you get hit by a cement truck, or if you've got pneumonia or an appendicitis or things like that, healthcare deserves an A+ in the realm of those ideas. However, the thing that is really destroying life is what we could call chronic or degenerative diseases, or even lifestyle diseases. And the healthcare system presently is not set up in a way to adequately help that. Is there another way? We believe that Nikken, offering non-medical ideas to just optimize your environment, is on the verge of transforming health, the way we even think about being healthy, just like some other ideas. Let's look at this. Our advantage is unique products, people that have never seen them before. And if you share these with other people, what you'll find is consistently, sometimes near instantaneous, and often very dramatic results. This is what I love about our business. Is if you kind of look back, elementary school, some of my favorite memories were I got to bring something really cool to show and tell, and people would go ooh and ah in surprise and delight. And that's what I do for a living now with our technology. Almost every time you have the amazing competitive advantage of sharing something that people have never seen before and that works near instantaneous. That's a big deal. Now, what's the market potential? Well, in the United States, there's 330 million people. Now, if you're actively in NICAN right now, and if you've talked to very many people at all, I believe it's very realistic that if you went and talked to people, that 1 out of 10 would be interested enough into buying something. If you're doing this, I believe you'll agree that you probably have a better than 10% success rate. People that are good at telling the story, good at demonstrating, I believe you'll find it's closer to around 30%. But let's just kind of keep this at 10%. Also, the average NICAN order is about 150 bucks. If we annualize that, so if we follow up with people, we've got a lot of really cool stuff. A good customer over 12 months, that would be $1,800 a year. And if we could capture 10% of the US market, which I believe over time, if it was presented to them, they would act on it. We've got a potential here of $60 billion in annual sales. And what if we could get more than 10% of the population interested? That's an exciting thing as far as the possibility. The only thing that is left is for us to go to talk to people. Now, look at this right here. This is like the very beginning of something that you can connect the dots very easy by just testing this on a few people that you know, let them try the product. Of course, try it out yourself and then just scale that. Imagine what would happen if that was to happen again and again. More and people would get involved, and just scaling this, you can see we've got something really good, amazing product, unsurpassed in what it can do for people, an immeasurable market for all intents and purposes. It'd take a long time to go through 1 million people as an example. That's limitless opportunity, and the opportunity is yours. Now, here's the whole idea is just how do I get myself to go to work? This is one of the big things, and everyone has good intentions. When they think, I'm going to do this, I will tomorrow for sure. and here's the reality is everything about business is people. And we got to understand people, and primarily we have to understand ourselves. We need to move out of that statistic, because here's the reality that we're working with. Most people who start things just don't finish them. And give you a background about NICAN. So much about success is just ordinary people doing ordinary things extraordinarily well. And the whole idea is when you get excited about something and go for it, you're no longer ordinary. What started our company was Isamu Masuda, a shy, unassuming person, very quiet, worked as a clerk at a bus depot where they would store buses at night. And he was kind of unhealthy to boot. Well, he got married, and their first child was born with some serious defects. And on medical examination, they told him that it could actually be corrected with surgery. Now, none of these problems were life-threatening, and so it was elective surgery, and it was expensive. And so here's a couple of dynamics that were going on in the mind of Isamu Masuda. First off, this idea that his bad health perhaps was the cause of his son, bad genes or whatever. And then also his income, working where he was not anywhere near enough to take that elective surgery and give his son an opportunity to have a totally normal, healthy life. And so that was the impetus that got him looking for opportunity. And in an interview with a sales opportunity by Larry Profit, this was part of the interview. He was told that before you can achieve the kind of life you want, you must think, act, talk, and conduct yourself in all the affairs as the person you wish to become. This really affected Masuda so much so that he wrote that down and carried it around in his wallet for years, affirming that out loud many times every day. Later on, when he founded Nikken and built this big business, he actually had the opportunity to recruit Larry Profit in personal development stuff, and he showed them this. So that's kind of a neat story right here. But act as if. What do successful people do? They do certain things a certain way, and if you identify them and act those same way, this is what it's all about. This is such a powerful idea, is act as if the person you wish to become. What do successful people do? Do the same things. And this is what we're going to tell you about. This is what we do in Nikken on a daily basis. It's simple things, but we get really good at them, and then we do them over and over again. To succeed in any business, common to every business, is some type of a product or a service that will add value or solve problems. And that's what Nikken is all about, is fantastic products that will add value to another human being. They solve people's problems. And so we just look for people that have problems and add value to them. And so our job is to move product. And we do this by word of mouth, which is the coveted and most effective method of marketing of all time in any business, is a friend sharing or recommending something to another friend. And built inside of us is this natural desire. If we really believe in something, we naturally want to share it with the people that we love. And we're doing this all the time. The difference with Nikken is we will pay you to do something that you're probably naturally going to do anyway. So you just kind of think of this as selling, not in the term of talking somebody into something they don't want, but sharing something of value that you would do regardless, and just kind of naturally unfolding. Now, the power about Nikken is all wealthy people have found a system, a way to leverage themselves. And what we love about Nikken is it allows everybody to do that very same thing, not only to sell product that's of value, but to recruit and help other people, build your own team. And that's one of the most wonderful things that you can share, is we're putting a team together and we're going to change the world with these products. And so we have the opportunity to grow and expand a network of people doing the same thing that you're doing, and then developing ourselves by developing other people, and in turn, increasing that productivity. One of the most wonderful things is developing leadership, and because of your good influence, making wonderful things happen that would not have happened but by your good influence, and then just getting really good at doing that over and over and multiplying that. Okay, going back to the reality of everything. When it all comes down, everything is pretty much predictable. And so if you talk to a lot of people, and a lot of people eventually come into your business, what you'll find is about 70% of the people that join get in and they wind up just becoming consumers. And we love those people. We want more of them. However, as far as building their own business, they never recruit another person throughout their whole career. They get in, they buy some stuff for themselves and recruit 0 people. 20% will give it a go. They'll talk to a few people and they'll recruit a few people. Others, as they continue to talk to people, they fall in love with the product and they love sharing it with other people, and they develop a retail business. When you look at the Nikken products, the more you look at them, you realize everybody could use these and benefit with them. And the price point is very customer friendly. And so if you get some customers and serve them and love them, you can develop a nice retail business. Now, as you keep doing that though, you can recruit other people. And there's a lot of people that would love to have a home-based business, enjoy all the benefits of a business. And so about 3% of the people that join Nikken will recruit a few people. And then there is that few, the super recruiter. About 2% of the people who join do most of the work as far as building the team. These are people that will recruit over 10 or more. In fact, the average is 27 recruits, and these super recruiters are responsible for over 70% of all the people who are in the NECANN team. Think about this. And so, okay, it's predictable, and you can choose. You can decide, not by just wanting something, but wanting it enough to follow through and do the activity. Where would you like to be? Now, NECANN has a place for all of you, and regardless of your choice, we want you to come. And you can change your mind. Maybe down the road, you might decide, I want to do this. Or you might be thinking, you know what, that's just too much work. I'll just kind of settle down. It's entirely up to you, but this is where it's at. And again, it's predictable. And if you do the work, it becomes very predictable where you are going to be. Success or failure by what you do over time is a certainty. So I'm going to assume that you want to jump in and go all the way. And so much of it is just to really decide. The happiest people, the most fulfilled with their lives, are people that are really good at what they do. There's just something about accomplishment. That's how we're made. We're happiest when we are in the process of accomplishment, and we're the happiest is when we're very competent at doing that. Now, another thing is success breeds success. When you really get good at something, that exudes confidence. And I would say that charisma, just attractiveness, when you're really good at something, confidence is very, very attractive, and you'll attract more people. And so this idea of success really does breed success. If you're stuck, if you're in a rut, there's something that just comes out of you, and people can smell it. They can feel it, and it's not attractive. So if you get good at something, it gets easier to get good at something. And so job number one, finding good people and developing them. And you need to be a good person to find good people and attract good people. So that's what it's all about. We're in the leader builder business. And our job day to day is just finding some good people and teaching them to do these few basic things again and again. You want an army of people consistently doing a few simple things over a long period of time, allowing time to have that power of compounding. So this is how we attract people, by becoming the right person. Where you will be in the future depends upon what you think about, and you can change your thoughts by what you read, the people you associate with, what you listen to, all of these things. And so here's a really wonderful question right here. If you were to find a really good book, and if you read 10 pages, could it change your life? And what if you read 10 pages tomorrow and the next day? Would reading 10 pages every day from now on, what would that do to your thinking? And therefore, what would that do to your life? Remember the book, Think and Grow Rich. What if you read that book? What if you read it again and again? This is powerful stuff. And so here's the idea of being successful in NECANN. Use the products. In fact, become a raving fan about these products. Be fanatical about it. Decide to become a member of the Super Recruiter Group. That means get it done. Go out and get 10 or more new recruits. This is what it's all about. And again, success breeds success. When you recruit someone, you want to encourage them. Let them know that they made a right decision. Congratulate them on their wise decision. Keep doing things that pours your belief into them, and invest in them. Get them plugged into the system and let them know what it is that they need to do. One of the most important things is realistic expectations. If you look at business, the average business, I understand, is about $60,000 to start a business. And once you start that business, average it lasts about a year. 50% of businesses last a year and they're gone. Here's another thing is with all of that, it takes a lot of effort. Okay, average $60,000, and how many hours are you going to work it? If you talk to people that are starting a business, they're not working, 8 to 5, and then well, it's time to go home and get a bite to eat and watch a little TV and get to bed. They're working 60, 70, 80 hours or more because they're on the line. They need to make that happen, and they still might fail. And then there's other businesses that maybe cost $1 million, and we could be in that kind of business. I've met people, and that's their job, is selling franchises, and they have all of this full disclosure. They set up proper expectations and tell people what it takes, and we want to do the same thing. Now, the thing I love about NECANN is we give people an opportunity to be in business for themselves, and yet the entry level is really nothing at all. 99 bucks and you've got a team. You don't need to go get a business license. You're working within a playing field where NECANN takes the day-to-day risk of cash flow, of receivables, payables, product development, all of the interactions with the government, all that kind of stuff. Think about this. You join, you don't have to do the licensing. The only paperwork you need to do is to keep track of everything that's an expense, and you get to write it off, which can accumulate to thousands of dollars your very first year. And so you've got a positive cash flow just in terms of tax advantages. And if you're talking to people, you're going to make income. You can profit from day one, and actually your first month in NECANN can be a positive cash flow, not $1 million or 10,000. But it could be a couple of $100. The thing that's so powerful is it's all upside, no downside. Talk about huge, just what we could say asymmetric, a risk reward. This is what business people want, is maximize the upside, minimize the downside. Well, we have no downside. Day to day, as you're building your business, you're not putting capital at risk or anything else at risk other than your ego. Putting that on the line. You get a thick skin. So when you talk to your brother-in-law and he says, what makes you think you can do that? You just kind of, well, I'm going to go talk to someone else. Thank you for the practice. And so every encounter of operating your business, no scary exposure other than learning to handle the no's, which will be many. And each time it could be huge opportunity. It is so fun. Just this last week, I called people and they said, no, thank you. I looked down, no blood. Well, I called some others and they said, yeah, I'm interested. And so you have total control. If you think, okay, I'm invested in the process, not the outcome of each individual encounter, that's what you need to be thinking about. And so big on the top of the list, again, is just proper expectations. I tell people, don't just call a couple of people and base what you're going to do on what your brother-in-law said. Make a commitment. Decide that you're going to give this 1 year and go all out, then look back. And if you do that, I believe you're going to be very pleased with the outcome. Not individual outcomes of people, but the outcome of a year of effort into this. So what's really wonderful about this is we have a track record. The products work, the market is immeasurable, and it's just playing the numbers. And so success, if you do those, I believe it becomes a certainty. Or you can talk to a couple of people and fail, but it's all up to you. And so this is the choice. NECANN, we've discovered, is very easy, low pay work. In fact, you can do nothing at all and get nothing at all, or work really hard and make an excellent income. If you know anyone making, as an example, 6 figures, when you say making 6 figures, that's kind of a fun thought right there. If you're doing that, you're able to have a few options. And if you know anybody earning 6 figures, they work really, really hard. Same with this. Okay, just to help, again, just emphasize what it takes to be successful, making the most possible outcome. Be your own best customer, really be excited about these products. Learn how to tell your story. So much day to day is having lots of conversations, and part of it is, hey, would you like me to tell my story? And learn how to tell it effectively. And we recommend that you tell it with other people who are in your business, that are in your team. Talk to your upline, work through that, rehearse it. There's good ways to tell the story. Don't add a lot of detail. Don't go on and on and on. Make it exciting and compelling. One of the big things about NECANN, if you look at your career in NECANN, it's all about getting silver done. That's the foundation. That's the backbone of this business. This is where you maximize your profit. So it's all about hitting silver. Then the rest of your career is looking for other people and helping them become silver, and then teaching those people to find silvers. If we get people that are silver, they're profitable. And so we want to do that. Learning how to use time wisely, doing the right things. Task management, doing the things that count. What pays? Well, it's talking to people. And so that's how we get paid, is talking to people. If we're not talking to people, we're not working. And then just really decide, again, to be a super recruiter. Be one of those people. Get that 10 people done. Get that done. And do it quick. Culture of speed. Momentum is a leader's best friend. And momentum is everything. That which is in motion tends to remain in motion. An object at rest tends to remain at rest. Don't do that. A business in motion gets in motion. Get in motion, move, speed, fast. These want to define who you are. And so this is what I'm thinking in my mind. I'm not trying to be in the convincing business. If somebody's not interested, it's a lot easier and more fun, less frustrating to just look for people who are already looking. I'm looking for people who are looking for me. And knowing that of all the things out there, we have something really special. We've got products that give us a huge competitive advantage. Again, products that work dramatically, consistently, and quickly. Nothing else is out there. We've got a better way. Now is the time to tell the word, to tell the world. We now can be your defining moment. It's just a decision away, deciding to play at your best level. So NECANN is the ultimate business model to create leverage. Now, when we talk about leverage, it's a leverage of time, of income, and your positive influence. I love that idea. And it's worked before, and it'll work one more time for you. Success is a recipe. And if you follow the recipe, the results is very predictable. And with this idea of leverage, if you really decide to do this, teach other people to do this, effectively, you could affect the lives of thousands of people in the course of a few years. Eventually, it could be a whole lot. One decided person can impact a lot of people. Now, the domino effect. Every wealthy person has found a way to multiply their influence and therefore their wealth potential. Again, what I love about NECANN is you don't have to be superhuman, have some special talent, have incredible, unique knowledge or business expertise. It's just plugging in to proven products with an open, wide marketplace, teach others to do the same thing. And so here's an idea right here.
Everybody knows about playing with dominoes, but what you may not know is that a domino can knock over another domino, which is about 1.5 times larger. So what I have here is a chain of dominoes. Each one is 1.5 times larger than the previous one. And the smallest domino is about 5 millimeters high and 1 millimeter thick. And I will carefully place it. And there are 13 dominoes, and the largest domino, it weighs about 100 pounds and is more than 1 meter tall. Ready? Boom. That was 13 dominoes. If I had 29 dominoes, the last domino would be as tall as the Empire State Building. Here we go.
You know, think about that. And you've probably already seen this illustration right here, but I love having it all written out so you can see it. And I've always marveled about this idea of compounding. And this is a penny doubling it every day for 30 days. And you look, okay, 1 penny, 2 penny, 4 penny. And if you've never seen this before, a lot of times you can be thinking, wow, there must be some trick to this. But here we go, 8 penny, 16 penny, a week into 30 days, and it's not even $2. And yet you follow along, the same math is going along, not anything magic at any one moment, just day to day, the same math. And yet by day 30, there's $5 million. It's just absolutely amazing. And then of course, if we added up that first day, that'd be an extra penny there. At the day 2 would be 2 pennies there. If you add all of those up to 5 million, day 29, 2 million, 28, 1 million, that adds up to more than 5 million if you've got your salary for all of that. So just absolutely incredible. And this is your business. You get in and you double your business organization by sponsoring your first person. And a lot of times at first, you don't see a lot happening, but if you do this over time, where days add up to weeks, add up to successful months, add up to successful years, this is how it happens. Now, here's the idea of compounding also. 6 degrees has been an idea that's been around for years. Sociologists have studied this and all of our relationships, that we're all interconnected. And throughout the world, the billions of people, that if you know someone who knows someone who knows somebody, there's 6 degrees of connectedness that can connect you to every other person in the world. Now, since that was first talked about many years ago, I was reading an updated version, and because of all of the cell phones and social media and that, the world is getting smaller. And so it's actually less than 5 people between you and any other person. Imagine that. But if we just went to 3 degrees, okay, the average person on a first name basis knows about 170 people. And so if you talk to the people that you know about something that's wonderful, if you were just a kid and you were starting a babysitting business and you had a couple of happy customers, the way it would grow over time is those customers would share with other customers. Or if you had a lawnmower business and you had your next door neighbor was happy, well, you could easily grow that business by, if you're good, you could go to another neighbor and say, hey, the Williams, I do their job and I'm only $50 a lawn, and I'd love to do yours too. Talk to them. And if you're good, you'll start getting referrals. Every business loves referrals, including us. And when I started my business in Nikan, I started with the people I knew. And interestingly, a lot of them weren't interested and didn't do much themselves. But I had something good and they liked me and they referred me to people. And I had quite a team going after a while. And the thing that was fascinating is looking at my team, the people that I knew and loved, my team, almost none of them did I know prior to being in Nikan, but I knew people who knew them. Fascinating. And so when you learn how to get referrals, you have an infinite resource. You'll never run out of people. There's millions of people out there. And so this is a powerful thing right here. Where do you get your names? I've been doing Nikan for many years, and I've got more names now than I had when I first got in because of this power. And every day when I meet new people, I can add them to my list and the people that they know. This is really powerful. And so this is the idea that we do. We find 3 people who in turn find 3 people, who in turn find 3 people. It's really that simple. Now, is it easy? No. As I mentioned earlier, the people that are really successful are the people that have recruited 10. And so we don't have on this model here, find 10 and teach other people to do 10. In fact, to find 3 people doing 500, you might need to recruit 10 to do that, kind of the law of thirds. What the 500 means is everybody doing a substantial amount of volume. 500 generally means that you're not only using the product yourself, being your own best customer, but you've got a couple of other customers and have a goal to do at least 500 so that you've got something worthy of being duplicated. If you're not doing anything and you recruit other people not doing anything, well, a million times nothing is still nothing. But if you've got 3 people that are doing the same thing as you, which is at least 500, and what if we multiply that out where everybody gets 3, just like the dominoes, 3 times 3 is 9, 3 times 9 is 27, 3 times 27 is 81. As it moves out, it can multiply. This is the power to change everything. Just doing this thing right here. Again, simple to do, simple to duplicate. That does not equate to easy to do and easy to duplicate. No, it's hard, take time, but having something simple so people can follow it, a simple recipe that will take effort, but it will happen over time. Well, why don't we do this? Everything I've talked about does look simple, fun, and easy. Well, this is the reason we don't. I want to emphasize this. This is a sociologist, and this is kind of the reality. We're wired this way. Let me read this. We have a place in our brain that's always worried about what other people think about us. As far as our brain is concerned, if our social system rejects us, we could die. Given that our sense of danger is so natural and automatic, organizations have to do some pretty special things to overcome that natural trigger. Well, here's the reality. For eons, as people, we were community, we're social beings. And if we got ostracized, if we were kicked out of our tribe, that would be a death sentence. We needed each other to survive. And so that is the reality. Now, what we need to understand when we get into NECANN is this is past that. And the most wonderful, reassuring thing, and I can tell you from doing NECANN for years, you're not going to die. In fact, play this out in your mind and actually make those fear-filled steps of making some calls. What you're going to find out is the worst possible thing that'll ever happen is they'll just say, no, thank you. Now, what's the best thing that could happen? Well, they'll say yes and join you or buy some product. And that is fun. And as you do that again and again, it desensitizes you. You realize that, oh my goodness, I'm not going to die. This isn't that bad. It's like all of us probably when we first got into the dating scene, perhaps the most scary experience for a guy is as you get older, you become more and more attracted to girls and you think ultimately, I want to marry somebody and have a family. So much of happiness is that situation. You want it so bad that you pick up a phone as a teenager. I remember that scary, scary thing of calling a girl and asking her for a date. Oh, that was scary. But going on a date was so fun, it was worth it. And doing it again and again, asking for dances and asking to go out, I got pretty good at it. So much so that I allowed the numbers to work so that I found a really nice girl and I got awesome kids, a wonderful wife, and a happy life. It all began because I asked. And if you've asked somebody to a dance, well, what's the worst thing will happen? They'll say no. But if you ask another girl, they'll say yes. And so it's just a numbers game. And I think in my mind, okay, where there's nothing to lose by trying and a great deal to gain if successful, by all means, try, do it now, and you're not going to die. It could be a wonderful outcome. Again, we have a unique business where you're not going to lose your shirt. All you got to do is overcome this little idea right here. And so What it is getting your head on right, getting your heart. Success is being in the fear management business because we all have to go through that aspect. I still don't enjoy people saying no, but it doesn't bother me so much, especially if I get back on the phone and call a few people until I get a yes. And so here's some of my affirmations. Action conquers fear. Do the things that you fear and fear will flee. Now just go do it anyway. And my fears will not stand in the way of my goals. When you change your thoughts, you change your world. Harness fear. Be afraid that it will work and you just didn't do it anyway. And this opportunity came and passed you by and you thought, well, I didn't make any calls because I was afraid. And so I'm just going to live out my life in cautious mediocrity and never amount to anything. That was my fear, was to eventually grow old and die and still have a full tank of gas, not have really used myself up into something great, just to be mediocre. That was my fear. And so I used fear to move me. And so, wow, short-term fear of making a few phone calls or the fear of just having a mediocre life. Wow, do it. This is a picture that I love. The last time we were at a restaurant, my wife and I enjoyed a wonderful dinner, and the waitress came and said, would you like to look at a dessert menu? And we said, no, thank you. And she didn't accept that as any personal rejection. She said, great, and brought us the check. Well, why over and over again would this person ask for dessert when she knows that probably 4 out of 5 people are going to say, no, thank you? Well, the ones that do, that adds just a little, couple of bucks to the tip. And over days, over weeks, over months, you can multiply this out. And asking for dessert adds up to literally thousands of dollars extra income a year for a full-time waiter or waitress. That's a big deal. We're in the same business. And this is just as the same as being a waitress or a waiter. You don't take it personally. So you just do it and do it and do it and do it again. Think about this. Look at this game as a holy work, an opportunity to really be on a mission that matters. Think about your senior partner. Think about this as a stewardship. God called you into this game. Now let's go to work. So there's something for God to help us with. He won't steer a parked car. We got to go out there. I love this thought right here. Everything you want is on the other end of a phone. Action conquers fear. Let go of fear. Make the calls. Ultimately, it's action, action, action. Do it and do it again. When you interact with people, learn to listen, build rapport. When people talk about problems, listen. Don't jump on them. Relate with them. Tell stories. Add names to your list. Build a prospect notebook. And if the time is right, mention you can. If it's not, you don't have to talk to them right there. Just capture their contact information, make a note about something that'll kind of jar your memory and what might be an interest to them, and then just get back. Add more names than you have time to call. If you only got 3 or 4 names on your list, you'll be hesitant, because if you have more time than contacts, that will paralyze you. You'll think, oh boy, if I call everybody I know, I'll be out of business. What am I going to do tomorrow? And so continually, it's all about adding names to your list so you have more names than time. And here's just a thought right here with all of your people, and you can start all over any day. Just think, okay, what can I do? Now, if you're a good person and people do business with people that they know, like, and trust. And so if you're kind of this person where you call and you say, hey, I need your help, will you do me a personal favor? And they're thinking, oh, what is it this time? You might not be the right person for this business. But if you're a good person, almost always what will happen is they'll just say, sure, what do you need? And here's a script that works really good. Just say, hey, my company's introducing some amazing non-medical health technologies They were originally developed in Japan. It's mainstream over here, but we've just created a demonstration package. I need some help. I need some people that I know that I can test this on so I can gain some personal testimonies and more experience. Let's see, it's Saturday. There's something later this afternoon or pretty much anytime next week where you'd have 15 or 20 minutes we could get together, and I'd love to show you what this is and just see if you notice a difference. And we're talking about things that we're all interested in, everyone. You know, increasing strength and balance, having more energy, and also we've had people experience some considerable relief of discomfort, and this is all without any bad side effects. It's all upside, no downside. So this is something that will work if you do this. You know, think about this. If somebody called you and asked you, you'd probably get curious. And that's our job, is to create curiosity enough so that people will want to meet with you. That's what this is all about. This is something on my Magnetic Leaders blog about earthing. This is a script. You can freeze this and read. Learn how to do this. That's a fun product in and of itself. If you're familiar with the term grounding or earthing, most people have heard that name, but they really don't know the mechanism or how it works. Boy, we can sell grounding pads like crazy. That's a hot product. That's a portal into the rest of the product. Here's something, if you call people, a lot of times they don't answer, so text them. And this is something I actually screenshotted, and it worked. I met with him and he bought product. And so take a look at this. Hi, Rick, is there some time we can get together next week? Sure, what's it all about? And then I just ask, I answer with a question. Are you familiar with the term energy medicine? Almost always they say a little bit. And then the same thing, talking about what we're all interested in: strength, balance, recovery, all of these kind of things. Would you have 15 or 20 minutes? And we met for lunch, and it was fun. And you do this again and again and again, and you get a trend of success. I love this thought by Denny Denton. Anything you do once, you can do it twice. And if you can do it twice, you can make a habit of it. And if you do this, you can make a lot of money with it. So here it is. The key to success is work. Work intensely hard on a focused goal. It is by pushing one's limits that life gets better and bigger. Spread the love. I love this illustration right here. This product touches people. When we first got into Nikan, what we did is we had the mattress pad, we had the creator, we still have these things, they're wonderful. However, what we do, we want to be able to duplicate, and hauling that heavy mattress pad around, straddling people with the creator, rolling it up is a wonderful thing. But a lot of people say, I don't want to do that. That's hard. A lot of people just physically carrying that heavy pad around is difficult. This you can carry in your pocket or your purse, and I believe it's just almost as effective. You get really good at doing this. Spend considerable time, several minutes rolling this up and down someone. How I do this, the technique is I put my left hand on their left shoulder, and I take this in my right arm, roll it up and down their back, across their shoulders, neck. At the same time, in my mind, not out loud, I just say, I love you. You know, I really do care about you. I really hope I'm making you feel better. And then I will express to them, I'll say, hey, is there any area that you want me to focus on? Any part that's sore or bothering you? And if they say, yeah, my low back is killing me, then I'll put extra time there, or on their neck or wherever. And all this time, I love you, I care. And it's just kind of that idea when you pick up your little baby the first time and hold that baby, you can just kind of feel the love, a bond. And that's what this does. When you connect with someone with this, it's like connecting in a bond of love and energy. And if you can make somebody feel good, we've all heard this idea that, well, people forget what you said. They might forget what you did, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. And statistically, about half of the population at any one time hurts. And if you can take away discomfort, that's a pretty emotional thing. And sometimes it's quite dramatic. You might have a friend you've known for a while, and you might not even know, because who wants to, just kind of say, how you doing? And they say, well, not so good, I heard, or whatever. But maybe you don't even know that maybe 6 years ago they got in a car wreck and they've never felt quite the same since then. They kind of hurt. What we found is, again and again, people with this experience, right just during the demo, you can really lift a lot of that from them. And so Nichiren is about spreading love. Powerful stuff. Now, the best way to build a business is not by yourself. ABC, from the very inception of Nichiren, B being the new distributor, this is you, or me, as I go out and find new people, I employ an expert. And that could be just calling somebody on my phone while I'm doing a presentation, or following up, or whatever. But you talk to people that know you and trust you and like you. Now, C is the prospect. A is your helper, the expert. And when you have trust with the new person and trust with your sponsor, instantly by pretty much edifying and talking them up, you connect your new person with trust. And that idea that an expert is simply somebody you don't know and that's out of town, there is some magic in that. And they start talking, and they might have more authority than you do with your brother-in-law as far as knowing all about these new technologies. They'll trust this other person. So this is powerful stuff. Also, an A is someone that is already good at this, and they're good because they know how to do it. They have the right words to say. And when you learn the same words through experience of hearing them go through that hands-on, you're right there seeing them get somebody interested, then you can borrow those words and make them your own, your personality into it. So this is really, really an important way. It's the classic way throughout all time of gaining skills. College could be good, but actually learning through an apprentice program, becoming good through a master teacher, somebody that's a tradesman in Nichiren, you can learn how to do it too. This is the greatest source of strength there is. To me, when I joined Nichiren, literally, I was looking for something. I was praying, hoping, searching, and when I found this, it was an answer to prayer. And I thought, I'm not unique. There's a lot of people just like me that are looking. And one of the most wonderful things there is to be an answer to someone else's prayer. And so this is part of my business strategy, is just to pray to be led to people who are praying that this could be their answer, and looking at this as a stewardship, as a holy calling. Wow, this is cool stuff. Well, if it is to be, it's up to me. It's actually just going out there and doing it, and doing it, and doing it. That's how you succeed, is just do it and do it. And this is my little test. When I'm looking for my key people, I tell them, hey, call me every day. If you call me, then I'll know you're interested. If I have to call you, you never call me, you're probably not one of my 3 key people. And when we talk, it's not just, well, have you done anything today? Not really. I'm not calling to try to pump you up and wanting something more than you wanted. I'm looking for people that actually want it, and they show that by calling me, and they've made a list of names. And when we call, it's not just passing the day, but it's doing 3-way calls and reaching out to prospects and strategizing. And so get in touch with your active upline, build a list of names, and start talking. And do these calls, attend Nichiren presentations, do Nichiren presentations. This is what we have total control of, is the conversations that we have. Tell me yes or tell me no. Tell me quick, because I got to go. Be busy. Use it. Continue to learn everything about the business. and follow this virtuous circle. Number one, get in, get some packs. They're pre-packaged, they're priced right. And if you, as an example, get an energy pack, I love that because it's put together with substantial savings, and it's got all the stuff where you can do show and tells and where people feel great benefit. Fortify that with at least a water bottle, maybe get a cocoon, and there you go. Get on auto ship. Start using the consumables. Teach other people to do that. Again, with your volume and a few other customers, do at least 500. Share this with other people. Eventually, you'll find a few people, and then teach them to find a few people. Do it as fast as you can. Get the momentum going. Teach this concept of finding 3 people, to find 3 people, key people, and then just kind of going around and around and teaching other people to get into this circle, and it will happen. Now, what we've discovered is when you move product, you get paid. And when you don't move product or have other people doing it, you don't get paid. And if you do lots of it, you get paid lots. Also, in this business, there's 2 states of being: prospecting or avoiding prospecting. Why would you avoid? Have more reasons than doubts or fears or procrastination. Get yourself busy. Get out there, make some calls. It's fun. It really is. And so all in, let's do it. And I believe in you. Call me. I'll help you too.